The film begins with a random day-to-night rivalry at a bar. Two groups are contending, and the most cutthroat individuals from each group, Max, Jason Bateman, and Annie, Rachel McAdams, meet when they answer a similar inquiry accurately. The two begin dating as they begin beating their companions during their game evenings, until Max proposes to Annie during a round of pretenses, and the two later get hitched and play each other at a moving game. In the current day, Max and Annie are attempting to have children, yet when they visit Dr. Jo, Camille Chen, they discover that they are experiencing difficulty considering, which is credited to Maximize feeling worried recently. Annie calculates that Maximum is worrying about his more seasoned, more fruitful sibling Creeks, Kyle Chandler, visiting that evening, as he has forever been upstaging Max all through their lives. Max and Annie get back to plan for their game night soon thereafter. They run into their dreadful neighbor Gary, Jesse Plemons, who used to go to game evenings with his significant other Debbie, Jessica Clairley, until their separation. Everybody finds him extremely odd and irritating, so his main organization is his canine bastion. Gary sees they are setting up for a game evening, however, the couple denies it, so they will not need to welcome him. Several companions show up soon thereafter. There's life as a youngster darlings Kevin, Lamont Morris, and Michelle, Killy Bunbury, and stupid Ryan, Billy Magnuson, who brings a pretty however similarly feigned date, and the others call attention to that he generally loses on the grounds that he carries idiotic young ladies with him. The companions sneak in by moving in through the windows since Max and Annie instructed them to do as such, since they don't maintain that Gary should realize they truly are having a game evening. Tragically, this is demolished when Brooks pulls up in a Stingray, Max's fantasy vehicle, and makes it horrendously clear to Gary that Maximum and Annie deceived him. At the point when Brooks joins the game, he seizes it by recounting to the party a humiliating story from Max's experience growing up when he evidently attempted to blow himself. This loses Max his game, and he and Annie lose. Brooks then, at that point, welcome everybody to go to his home the following week for the game night. Annie becomes disturbed in light of the fact that she feels Creeks is purposely screwing with Max and demolishing their possibilities considering. She upholds Max in bringing Brooks down the next week. During the following game night, everybody appears at Brooks' pleasant house. Ryan brings a renewed person, Sarah Sharon Horgan, whom he brought in light of the fact that she is essentially more brilliant than the wide range of various young ladies he's carried with him. Brooks get the party going by having everybody do a drinking round of Never Have I of All Time. At the point when the question of laying down with a superstar is referenced, Michelle takes a beverage, which causes Kevin to feel uncertain, as he had barely any insight into this the entire time they were together. Minutes after the fact, a man, Specialist Henderson, Jeffrey Wright, goes into the house with FBI dossiers that will act as pieces of information that will lead them to go on a chase after hijackers, and the champs get Brooks' Stingray, which gives Max a greater amount of an impetus to win. Notwithstanding, two genuine hijackers break in, take out Henderson, and begin going after Brooks. Brooks battled the two men by and large around the house, while everybody believes it's important for the game. Brooks are ultimately taken, and the pack investigates the dossiers to peruse the signs. Max and Annie forget about when they figure out their sign, while Sarah figures out how to reach out to individuals who made the game with the goal that she and Ryan can get a move forward, and Kevin and Michelle are caught in Stream's office when Ryan leaves them in there as they understand. Kevin attempts to move through the roof over a pile of boxes, making him bring down and thump the entryway open. Max and Annie are directed to a bar. Annie Haven taken a genuine weapon that dropped out of Brooks' pocket during the battle, yet she believes it's a prop. In the bar, they see Streams in the back room and hold the men in the bar at gunpoint, while they attempt to will Brooks. At the point when they find him, Brooks expresses absolutely no part of this is essential for the game, and that he is in genuine issue with genuine miscreants. Annie then, at that point, plays around with the weapon until she discharges it, and sees it's genuine. She coincidentally shoots Max in the arm, making him drain harshly. The troublemakers begin to break in, so Max and Annie snatch Creeks and run out. As they drive away, Streams concedes that his prosperity never came from dealing with Money Road like he's constantly guaranteed, but instead in light of the fact that he's been carrying stuff, and he took a Faberge egg from a crook called the Bulgarian, and offered it to somebody named Marlon Freeman. The lowlifes then track down Max and Annie's vehicle and pursue them. Brooks leap out of the vehicle so that Maximum and Annie can move away, driving him to get taken once more. Ryan and Sarah go to the distributing organization and meet Glenda, Chelsea Peretti, who just came from a homicide secret party where she was the cadaver, so she frightens the two. They need to pay off her by surrendering the following hint. In the interim, the genuine entertainers playing hijackers appear at Stream's home, driving Kevin and Michelle to understand that all that happened before was genuine. They reach out to Ryan and Sarah subsequent to learning reality. Max and Annie stop to purchase supplies so Annie can deal with Max's discharge wound. It prompts her to cut into his bone, both of them choking wildly, and afterward at last understanding that the shot left Max's arm before. The gathering all goes to Gary's home since he's a cop and would have a PC that has data on the monikers, Streams told Max. They are compelled to play Jenga with Gary, while Max goes to his office to utilize the PC. The workplace is brimming with memorabilia of Gary and Debbie when they were hitched. Max discovers that Marlon Freeman is actually a rich person named Donald Anderton, Danny Huston, while the Bulgarian has sidestepped the catch. Bastian then meanders into the room as Max's arm trickles blood onto the floor covering and afterward onto the canine. Max attempts to clear it off, however just exacerbates the situation. He then gathers everybody together to leave. The hijackers call Max and caution him that they'll kill Brooks inside in under an hour on the off chance that they don't convey the egg. The gathering shows up at Anderton's home to track down the egg. Anderton is holding a battle club in the cellar, which Ryan and Sarah watch while the others go searching for the egg. During their hunt, after much goading over the matter, Michelle, at last, confesses to Kevin that the VIP she obviously laid down with was Denzel Washington. She recaps the story and even has an image until Kevin needs to tell her that it wasn't Denzel, however a person who seems as though him. In the interim, Max and Annie raise the question of having a youngster, which seems like less of something Max needs, which Annie reasons are on the grounds that he wants to be more similar to Streams. Ryan detects the egg in a vault and goes to snatch it while everybody watches the battle. Tragically, he is spotted and he takes off with the egg. Anderton's watchmen pursue the gathering as they go around the house with the egg, however they at long last figure out how to take it and take off from the house. The gathering shows up at the extension where they should meet the ruffians, yet Kevin raises a ruckus around town excessively hard, and the egg goes flying and breaks against the dashboard. They notice that something was inside the egg, a rundown of individuals in witness security. The gathering approaches the criminals with the paper, and they force the gathering to get on the ground. While they address their boss, Brooks apologizes to Max for how he treated him and for misleading him. He tells Max the keys to the Stingray are in his coat pocket. The hijackers then, at that point, choose to execute the gathering until Gary shows up and shoots them. Gary calculated that something dubious was up with the gathering with how they acted throughout the evening. One of the criminals then, at that point, shoots Gary. Max and Annie go to help him until Max sees a blood case drop out of Gary's mouth. He uncovers that he employed the criminals to assume control over Brooks' down night, so he can get ready for action. At the point when the gathering gives him the WITSEC list, Gary says he wasn't in on that. Then, the Bulgarian, Michael C. Hall, shows up with his protector and shoots Gary, no doubt. Brooks swallow the rundown, so the lowlifes take Brooks with them to their jet. Max and Annie race to Brooks' home to take the Stingray and drive to the Fly. As the jet is getting ready to fly, Maximize figures out how to take the Haggles the Fly to go down. The Bulgarian's gatekeeper pursues the couple. Annie attempts to divert the gatekeeper while Max goes to save Brooks. Max battles the Bulgarian, while Annie is held at gunpoint by the watchman. In the battle, the turbines go on, making the watchman get sucked in and get destroyed. Annie then takes out the Bulgarian with a fire quencher, and both of them free Brooks. He attempts to play it off like this was additionally essential for the game, however, he's simply joking. After 90 days, the posse accumulates at Brooks' home for game night, since he is serving 3 years of house capture. He says it's not all terrible since he sold the WITSEC list on the underground market for $3 million, and furthermore warned individuals on that rundown for $20,000 a pop. The gathering even has Gary rejoin them, yet he actually sucks at the games. They play Pictionary, and Annie utilizes it to declare to Max that she is pregnant. Both of them embrace while their companions praise them. We then contain her outside to see 2 people in veils with firearms getting ready to go into the house. During the credits, we see a definite glance at how Gary intended to take over Brooks's game night. After the credits, we see the man that Michelle confused with Denzel meeting a renewed person, Debbie. Now I am going to give you the history behind this movie, Game Night. Game Night is a 2018 American activity satire movie coordinated by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein and composed by Imprint Perez. It stars Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams and follows a gathering of companions whose game night transforms into a genuine secret after one of them is captured. The film's supporting cast incorporates Billy Magnussen, Sharon Horgan, Lamont Morris, Kelly Bunbury, Jesse Plemons, Michael C. Corrider, and Kyle Chandler. Warner Brothers Pictures delivered the film on February 23, 2018. It was a business and basic achievement, earning $117 million overall and getting acclaim for its creativity, humor, content, and exhibitions. Plemons was designated for the Detroit Film Pundits Society grant for Best Supporting Entertainer. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this.